Okay, wanted to do a little tutorial on using Audacity, a program that you would upload your audio from your voice recorder to try to get ghostly voices on audio. So while loading up the voice recorder, now every voice recorder loading up will be different, but like this for instance here, once you put your voice recorder into the computer, mine plugs in with a nice USB port that pops out of the back of the voice recorder right into the USB port of the computer. So on here, you'll see that I'm going to bring my mouse up here and click recorder. It gives you all these different folders, A, B, C, D. If I click on A, I got a bunch of files there. So I'm going to double check to see what's on B though, but nothing. I believe I just did A. A was from Farrar, the Haunted School. Now I'm going to minimize this so I can show you how to do this down to a smaller window here. I'm going to click on, or actually I'm going to left click on the mouse and hold it down so that you drag the file over to right here on the computer. So now you can see that up top it's loading the file onto the computer. We'll give it a couple seconds there. Now the files there, it's listed as like 1503110012. Not really important, but it's a bunch of different files there from a lot of audio that I have to go over. We're going to go back to this screen and we're going to click that out. Now you're going to have to remember this file number if you got a bunch of files on here like I do. I'll just say it ends in 0012. Then what you're going to want to do is go to go down here, of course, find my Audacity program that's loaded on there, of course, right there. Click on it. It pops up onto the screen. Hit OK, get rid of that. Then you go up to the little file button there, File, Open as New. Now, which didn't open, what is there? Yeah, there's two of them up here by mistake. Okay, go up, File up here, hit Open, not New. Hit Open, and we need to find that one file. It ended in 0012, so that's it right there. I'm going to click on it. Now it's going to load to Audacity. It's only going to load if you have WAV files. If your voice recorder for some reason loads in VOC file, you're going to have to get an audio converter to convert it over to a WAV file to load it to Audacity. It's the easiest. My best bet to fix that problem is if when you're recording with your voice recorder, make sure it's always recording on high quality. If you record in SP or LP, something small or limited to the quality, it's going to record in VOC or some other format and not WAV. If you got it on the high quality, it should record onto WAV format, and then you can go directly to Audacity. Well, it's almost uploaded now. There we go. It's all uploaded. As you can see, it's going from there all the way over there. Now this is the short version. You don't want to just try to listen to the short version. You can listen to the short version, but you're not going to be able to pick out the audio within, or the voices within it. You'd have to move it out. So what I do is I go to these little, what do you want to call, magnifying glasses up here, and the plus sign clicks it out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it out, and it's going to get wider. I got to wait for my computer to catch up with me, because there we go. Doing it with this voice recorder is really high quality, so it makes it, the threads, a little bit longer. There we go. So now we're making it a lot wider. So now you can see it in 4.5, 11 minutes. I'm going to go a little bit more than that actually. So if there's 3 minutes, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, so on. So you can kind of get your place. There's a little scroll bar down here at the bottom that you can move, and it'll get you going through wherever you want to put it and wherever you want to listen to. So if you decide to take a break after listening to 45 minutes, you can go back to your spot at 45 minutes and start listening to it again. We're going to pick a spot in here, nothing in particular, nothing important really. Let's see if I can find something worthwhile. Okay, there's something like right here. What you want to do with this is probably me talking or somebody else talking at Farrar. If you want to listen to this, you can listen to it all the way through. I like to go and highlight my spots. For instance, I'll left click and click to here and just play that part. So what you're doing with the mouse is you're left clicking and holding it down and slide it over to create that bar, that shaded area that you just want to listen to that section. Then you go back up here and you hit play.
Anybody in here?
I asked if anybody was in there.
Anybody in here?
Okay, that's kind of a cool place to start with Audacity. So with that section highlighted, if you wanted to save that section, just that section, let's say you caught something there, you go back up to the file button right up here, you click the file button, you hit export selected audio. Do not hit export audio. That will export and try to save the whole exact thing that you just loaded onto the computer. So you hit export selected audio, you come up with a little box there that probably has the voice recorder file in it again, hit delete, and since I said, hey, is anybody in there, I could type, hey, is anybody in there, and so on, and hit save. And what it does is come up to this little box, hit OK, and then it's saved to your computer wherever you put it in, whether it's on your desktop or a different file folder. Now we're going to go back again to this section again so I can show you some other unique aspects of it. Look into the file. Like I say, if you want to save it, go to export selected audio and follow what I just did. If you want to enhance it or something, again, highlight it again. If it's not highlighted, go up to the effects box. Now you got amplify. If you amplify it, you got a little box down here. You can change the amplification. Hit OK, and suddenly it gets much louder.
Anybody in here?
And you can keep doing it and making it louder and louder as well. Now if I want to undo that, let's say you make a mistake, just go to edit and undo amplify. Another thing that I use on effects, you can use change pitch. You get another little box down here, another little thing, put it up to OK, hit play.
Anybody in here? Anybody in here?
Now you just change the pitch on it. To undo it, undo change pitch. Go back to effects. Change the speed, changes the speed. Change the tempo, changes the tempo of the voices. My favorite things to use is amplify, of course, bass and treble sometimes, change pitch, change speed, and change tempo are the most ones that I use. But let's say you got a air conditioner, some type of furnace running where you're doing your investigation, and there's background noise. What would you do? I go all the way down to here, to the bottom of the screen, where it says high pass filter. I click on high pass filter. Comes up with a little box that says debug. You hit the word debug. Suddenly you see, well, you have to hit OK one more time. Now you see the whole thing kind of shrink. It gets rid of a lot of the background noise in the background if there happen to be like a air conditioner or a furnace.
Anybody in here?
It cleans it up. It gets rid of that. Low pass filter will do the same thing. I'll kind of play around with high pass filter or low pass filter. Again, I'm going to undo it, so I'm going to undo high pass filter. Go back to effects. You can do a bunch of different things with this program. Kind of get whatever you want to do. Play around with it, see what you want to do. I've even reversed it, like if you want to hit reverse. Now it reversed the file, so if like in the old days, if you play a 45 record backwards, someone used to say they had hidden stuff in it, hidden words or vocals backwards that were able to be played backwards. Now you just reversed what I said backwards. It sounds weird. It sounds like, hey Brittany, are you okay? Backwards. It's really weird. So go back to edit, hit undo, reverse. Now you're back to the same again. So let's see, some other things. Basically everything here is pretty skip to the end. I don't usually use them. I just use the thing to scroll forward and backwards. Down the slider bar down below. There's a stop if you want to stop it, if you happen to be playing it back from the beginning. For instance, we're going to go back here to the end slide. Okay, we're going to show you a different way now to view it in case you did it a different way, but I highly suggest not doing it this way. Now, the play button up there, this is just in its regular format. This is not using the magnifying glass to move it out. If you see the numbers up top, it goes all the way to 38 minutes right in this one little clip here. So when I hit the play button, it goes super slow on the bars, so you really wouldn't be able to see if a spirit was talking. You wouldn't be able to pick out the extra little clip. So again, I like to go to the magnifying glass, and rather than cramping up all the minutes, I move it out so it's easier to see the minutes and at what point in the recording you might have captured something. So now it's at like 15 seconds, 35 seconds, 45, so it's a lot cleaner, a lot easier to use. Then you can do something else. See the little bar down here that I'm moving up and down, the little directional bar? You can pull this out. And what it does is, depending on how you got it, for instance, let me go to a spot that I can see something that I can show you a little bit more. Maybe like right there. We're gonna concentrate right there on this little mark right here. So I'm gonna go down and I'm gonna pull it out. What happens is it gets more defined is what I want to say it. So more defined, that says that something was there. So let's say in this area right here that something's here. I'm just gonna play it. Kind of like that. So you can hear, so those little blimps in there will be noises that the recorder picked up. The line that's straight where there is nothing, most likely you didn't capture anything there. Now I can't say that 100% because I had captured stuff whispered in those straight lines, but a lot of times I won't listen to all that because it takes a lot of time to do that. If you want to be a diehard and listen to the areas that are completely straight lined, go for it. Now here's the easy thing, what I was telling you before. Rather than hitting play and listening to the whole thing after we, undo that, rather than doing that, if you wanted to start back out here and hit play, rather than just doing that because you might lose track where you are, this is what I do. I'll go like this and I'll highlight this whole area and I can play that whole area. Also, if I wanted to go to the effect bar and go all the way down and hit high pass filter, I could use the high pass filter on that entire spot that I highlighted. Now you get the pause, you got the stop button, so you can go up to like any section that you want, start over if you lose track. You know exactly what time you stopped at. It's like 4 minutes, 4.15. So, like I said, about the only thing I use the effects is amplify, bass treble, pitch, speed, tempo. High pass is at the bottom with low pass filter. But feel free to play around with that stuff. A lot of that is really interesting. Some of it just doesn't work at all to what we're doing. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop back out of actually I'm going to go up to File. I'm going to hit New. I'm going to bring something else up onto the screen. So I'll hit Open now. I got something in here. He loves me not, he loves me, something like that, caught at the Farrar Schoolhouse. I'm going to hit Open. It's going to give me that file. This is what that file looks like after I saved it. And it's really short because it's just that file. So if I hit play, and that was a little bit hard to use, so I might find a one that's totally different altogether. So I'm going to click back out of here. Maybe I'll just go to File and hit New again, which picks up another screen. I'm going to hit Open, and I'm going to have to look for something. So I'm going to go to Desktop. This PC, Documents, EVPs, and find something like Best of Farrar to show you something a lot easier. Actually, this one is pretty cool if I can find it. We'll go to Bless You, Bless You, or actually this one even better, Go Help Him. So there's the Go Help Him file. Now, I usually save about 10 seconds prior to the voice and a couple seconds after, or if it's right at the end, I'll just leave it right at the end. Now, if you watch this file, as it goes through the file, you'll hear it. So at the very end, the Go Help Him is. Now, if you want to There's something else I can do too. If you go to highlight the bar, go help him, go up to, let me see which one it is, transport, the transport box. You can hit loop play. What loop play does is plays it right from the beginning over and over again. So if you want to stop loop play, just go back to, you can hit the stop button right there. If you hit the stop button, it stops the loop play. Now that we kind of got this section right here highlighted, I'm going to move it over. There's nothing after it, but here's the go help him part. If I want to play with that, like I said, I wanted to show you some of the effects that it does. If I wanted to amplify it, for instance, it's pretty loud now, but let's say I'll put it at 5.5 and allow clipping, hit OK. Now look at that, it's going to be really loud. There we go, a lot easier to hear. But go back to File, or Edit, Undo, Amplify. Go back to my Effect bar again. Let's say I wanted to change the speed. Change speed. Down here you got a little box. You can move the cursor around. You can hit Preview so you can hear what it does so you don't change it. Or you can undo it again too as well. It's your choice. Now it sounds like a female voice, and go help him. Or you can change it back the other way and it will be a deeper voice. So a lot of different things you can do with this program. I just hit cancel, so I go back to the original. So again, to save it, if I just wanted to save that section right there instead of the whole thing prior, I highlighted the bar, you go to File, you hit Export Selected Audio. Don't hit Export Audio like I said before, or you'll download the entire whole thing. Export Selected Audio, it says go help them on there. I could put go help them and put a 8 behind it because I kind of changed the whole thing now, and I would hit save. I'm not going to save it because I like it the way it's right the way it's at there. So I want to do one more thing. We're back onto the Farrar loop. I did manage to come up with something that I did find in here. I'm going to play this little segment. It might be hard to hear, but I'm going to show you how to enhance it to be able to hear it better. So did anybody hear that? If you heard that, like I said, you really got to look for stuff. You got to listen for stuff that's out of the ordinary, stuff that shouldn't be there. Little clicks, little bangs. Listen for a voice after the bang or the click. This one doesn't have a click or a bang, but I'm going to show you where the voice is. Right there, there was a voice. I believe it either said fuck that or fuck them. Me and Jennifer and Lisa are walking around at this time. So I'm going to play it one more time. Right in that section. While it's playing, I can still highlight this section right here. I'm going to hit stop. I'm going to hit play. So that's the file right there. Right that little spot there is an EVP. Now what I'm going to do, because I can pretty much say it says fuck something or another. It's either fuck them or fuck that. We're going to go to amplify up here, off the effect bar, hit amplify. Down here, you probably don't want 22.7. You're going to have to play around with it. I usually go for something in the middle, maybe 10 or so, and I'll hit OK. Now you're going to see that spot up there pop up. It jumped up a little. Now if I don't like it and I want it louder, I'll amplify it again. That's not too bad. Now I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to go to Effect. I'm going to go down to High Pass Filter just to see what it does. I'm going to go to Debug. Once I hit Debug, that little section right there is going to go down a little. Well, after I hit the OK button down here. So, OK. There, now it dropped down a little bit. Now we're going to play it again. It's a little bit clearer. Now I'm going to go back to Amplify, hit Amplify. It's at 14.9. I'm going to move it down to probably 10 again, or 11, somewhere in there. That should be good enough. I'll hit OK. Now it jumps up. Now you can hear it real clearly. You still a little bit hard to make out that last word, but I'm more leaning towards it saying fuck them. So we're going to go back up the file. We're going to hit export selected audio. You're going to change this right here by hitting delete. And I'm going to put in fuck them or whatever you want to put in there. There we go. Now I'm going to hit save. I got it cap locked on there, so excuse me. Hit save. It's going to say, give you up a box. Just hit OK. You don't have to do anything else. Now I'm going to close this thing out for a second. Close that out for a second. And I'll look for the word fuck that, which probably ended up in a different folder because it didn't end up on this one. So it probably, actually I know where it would have ended up. It ended up in the folder that I had highlighted. So if I wanted to hit file, and if I wanted to check to see where it went as well, I would just do that again by hitting file, export selected audio. Yeah, it ended up in, should have ended up in my desktop. So let's see if I can find it. I'm not sure where, why, or where. I must not be seeing it here. Oh, there we go. There's fuck them. So you got to find it on your desktop or wherever you left it. Now you can share it on Facebook or whatever else you want to do with it. Save them all and put them on a disk or whatever. Anyways, hopefully this helps. If you have any questions, definitely we'll talk about it soon. Peace out.